This is the afternoon weather briefing. This is for Friday, the 16th of August. I'm James Spann. Pretty standard summertime day around here. It's hot, it's humid. We have a few scattered storms about. Let's go right to the radar. And we are live this afternoon at 2:54. And you can see scattered storms over north central Alabama, gradually moving to the southeast today. And they're not especially heavy. If you're underneath one of these, we've got heavy rain, thunder, and lightning, but they're relatively small and isolated. Most of the state is rain-free. We note in the Birmingham metro, we've got one pretty good-sized storm that's just to the southwest of Hueytown and Concord. And again, that's dropping to the southeast. We've got thunderstorms down into parts of Shelby County, parts of Pelham and Helena. And again, other than that, nothing too heavy. The storms over in Pickens County are pretty stout. In fact, there might be some small hail in this storm right here, which is centered about 5 to 6 miles west of Aliceville in Pickens County. No sign of large hail at this point. So again, that's the northern half of the state. Let's go down south. And again, just kind of routine scattered showers over southwest Alabama, parts of Mobile, Baldwin, Washington, Clark, Escambia, and Monroe counties. And over in southeast Alabama, it's quiet. No rain showing up at all around Dothan, Enterprise, Ozark, Headland, Geneva. And again, we'll see these scattered storms continuing through the evening hours. They'll gradually fade once the sun goes down. These storms in advance of a surface front that's gradually pushing in here. It's going to take a while to get through, but once that front passes through, next week looks really, really nice with a nice taste of fall coming up. Here's the big picture. This is the upper air look, and again, we have the core of the upper high off to the west. We have a trough north of here. That is moving down through parts of the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes, helping to push that front southward. There's the visible satellite view, and again, the sky partly sunny for most of the state, but you can see those buildups, and some of those have formed into storms. Here's the radar composite across the state. And I'd say about, 85% of Alabama, no rain at all. Begin with the storms have formed. They're relatively strong, but under severe limits. So away from the storms, it's hot. We're in the 90s. Birmingham, 96, the same for Huntsville. Mid-90s for Montgomery and Mobile, 92 at Dothan. So here's the severe weather outlook for the rest of today and tonight. We have a marginal risk from near Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland, down into the deep south and curving back into the Great Plains states. Got a slight risk around Tulsa. In Alabama, we got a marginal risk as far south as Demopolis, Pine Level, and Roanoke. The area's in darker green. And like we've talked about, the main concern with these storms, small hail, strong gusty winds. There's no tornado threat. So this is tomorrow, and again, we've got a risk over really about the same part of Alabama, basically the northern half of the state, and it's the same thing. It will not rain everywhere. We stress that. For a lot of folks, it'll just be hot and dry, but where the storms do form, the chance of strong gusty winds, maybe some small hail. And on Sunday, interesting to note, the SPC has introduced a slight risk, which is level 2 out of 5. Down around US 80, Demopolis, Montgomery, Auburn, Opelika, down to Greenville, Luverne, Troy, Eufaula. And again, that's in advance of the front, and that's for storms that form Sunday afternoon. But it's the same thing. The main concern, strong gusty winds and possibly some small hail. Here's a look at rain for the next 7 days, and we all know that rain distribution is very uneven. For example, today, a few neighborhoods are getting soaked, most places getting nothing. And that'll be the case over the weekend. But on an average basis, this is suggesting rain amounts could be about 1 inch for the northern half of the state, under 1/2 inch down south. Tropical weather, and again, if you take out Ernesto, it's amazingly quiet, calm. The Gulf of Mexico, the Caribbean, the eastern Atlantic. That's just a little odd for August. Typically, you get a lot of action this time of the year, but of course, Ernesto is on the board, maximum sustained winds. As I speak here, 100 miles per hour. And beginning to look a little, again, it's like dry air is trying to wrap into this thing. It's probably maxing out in intensity, and there's no change in the forecast track. And, of course, the main concern is for the island of Bermuda. Ernesto will go pretty much right over the island tomorrow morning. Right now, the center is about 180 miles south-southwest of Bermuda, moving to the north-northeast at 14 miles an hour. That'll put the center pretty much over the island tomorrow morning. Again, I think with 100-mile-per-hour winds, that could be the peak of the intensity. The intensity should gradually come down as it moves north. Again, it's entraining some drier air, getting over cooler water. This thing kind of skirting the Canadian Maritimes, then it's out into the North Atlantic as a cold course system. And there's a look at the intensity guidance, and you can see mostly a downhill trend from here. So, model fans, let's talk about the weekend. Many questions. So this is the GFS, the 12Z run, valid tomorrow afternoon at 4. And you can see the trough over the eastern states, the ridge off to the west. And again, the trough is helping to push a front in this direction, but it's going to be a slow process. We'll go to the high-resolution HRR model, HRRR, high-resolution rapid refresh. This is valid tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock. And again, like today, really the same type thing, scattered storms about. Many places dry, but a few folks getting a heavy storm. This is suggesting the more numerous ones would be along and south of Interstate 59. But again, the odds of any one spot getting a storm are still really less than 50%. And highs will be in the 90s again. I know we're talking cooler air, but that's next week, not this weekend. So Sunday, this is the GFS, and it shows just nothing with that front sagging through here. This is the high-res NAM, North American Mesoscale model, valid Sunday evening at 6 o'clock, and it's got a few scattered storms, mainly over the southern half of the state. I really think for North Alabama, most of Sunday will be dry, the better chance of scattered storms along and south of US 80, along and south of a line from Demopolis to Montgomery to Opelika. And again, they could be strong, and again, we note SPC is now got this level 2 out of 5 risk in here. But again, there's no concern with tornadoes. If we see a severe storm, it will be from hail and strong straight-line winds. And again, mainly over the southern half of the state. All right, let's go to Monday. Hey, heat levels come down. Humidity comes down. The high Monday will be in the 80s for the northern half of the state. This is Tuesday. And we're going to be in a very dry continental air mass. Dew points come down in the 50s. Again, highs will be only in the mid to upper 80s over the northern half of the state. Let me show you the precipitable water on Tuesday. And look at the shades of blue in here. Come on now. That's amazingly dry for August. Typically, you see the yellows and the orange shades in here, but no. And you know what that's going to do? That's going to set the stage for many places to drop into the 50s Wednesday morning of next week. This is Wednesday. Birmingham, probably low 60s, but for the rest of North Alabama, many spots with a really good taste of fall. And we'll go to Thursday. Still looks pretty dry, and this is a week from today, Friday, August 23rd. The core of the upper high stays off to the west at 597 circle. And evidence moisture tries to come back, and there could be a few isolated showers, but it sure looks like most of next week will be dry. Let's keep going. Let's go out 10 days. This is Monday, August 26th. Same thing, a 594 heat ridge off to the west. And there could be a few little spotty showers, but again, nothing really widespread. This is rain for Birmingham coming off the European ensemble. The mean still a little over 1 inch between now and the end of August. Some of the ensemble members a little higher than that, but the mean is what you're looking for. Temperatures coming off the national blend of models. This is for Birmingham. Your number could vary. Still hot over the weekend with low to mid-90s, but hey, look at those upper 80s for much of next week, and look at the bottom numbers, the lows. The NBM has dropped the low for Birmingham down to 63 Wednesday. Yes, buddy. And again, many places over the northern half of the state will likely be in the 50s. And that's outstanding. Here's the latest 8 to 14-day guidance just in August 24th through August 30th. Temperatures could be a little above average, but probably not by far. So let's go back to the radar. We're live at 3:03 on this Friday afternoon, and you can see scattered, really widely scattered showers and storms across the state. Nothing severe at this point. We'll take a little radar tour. Birmingham Metro, heaviest thunderstorm is out a little south of Hueytown, Concord, Rock Creek. Over on the western side of the state, got some pretty decent storms in Pickens County. The intensities have they've weakened a little bit since we looked at them, 6-7 minutes ago. No sign of any small hail at this point. And again, remember, when it comes to severe, there's a very specific definition. To be severe, a storm has to have 58-mile-per-hour winds or greater. And the only other way a storm can be severe, 1-inch diameter hail or larger. That's about the size of a quarter. And there's no sign of that in any of these scattered storms. We got them up in the Tennessee Valley, parts of Madison, Limestone, Jackson, Morgan, Lawrence counties. And again, we'll check the situation down south. And again, just routine summer showers. A little bit of thunder down in parts of southwest Alabama this afternoon. But we'll keep an eye on these things. But obviously, it's no major severe weather problem at this point. All right, so don't forget we got a book signing tomorrow. We're going to be in Lincoln, Betty's Cafe, 10 to 1. It's going to be great. We love these. They're so much fun. We'll have all the Crest Publisher weather shirts. There's some good ones. Pretty funny stuff. We've got the children's books, books I've written. It's great. We take a lot of pictures, have a lot of fun. So listen, Lincoln, Pell City, Hatchie, Oxford, Talladega, Anniston, Jacksonville, Gadsden. Anybody in East Alabama, come see us. We'll be there. Betty's Cafe, Lincoln, 10 to 1 tomorrow. Promise it'll be a lot of fun. And, of course, if you can, watch us this evening on ABC 3340 News right across the hall in Studio A. ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, and God bless.